Here we are in front of the Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We're about to go up to the 41st floor, and above that there's another 41 floors. If you can see, we're going to be going up right where that walkway is, and from there we're going to have a look down onto the wonderful city of Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, the sky bridge, as I mentioned earlier, is at 170 meters above the street level. The length of the sky bridge is 58.4 meters, while the weight is 750 tons. It took about 2.5 years to complete these two towers, began in 1993 and completed in 1996. Okay, these two towers actually was constructed by two different contractors. Okay, the tower 1 you can see there, okay, was constructed by Hazama Group from Japan, and tower 2 by Samsung Group from South Korea. That is a high-speed elevator. It travels at a speed of 1 floor per second, which means we will take only 41 seconds to reach the sky bridge lobby. Yeah.
And the most important thing, what is your name?
Okay, my name is Fadli. Yeah.
And are you from Malaysia?
Yes, I'm from Malaysia and born in KL. Yeah.
I'm standing here with Jay, our tour guide. And Jay, tell us a little bit about where we're at right now and what we're about to see in the kitchen.
We are now in the state of Malacca. This small town is called Alogaja. And the lady just now was making the Malay pancake, referred to as roti canai, or some people call it prata. It's wheat flour plus a bit of salt and a bit of egg and a bit of condensed milk. So knead it together. You can eat it raw, or you can put some eggs in it, and can either eat it with gravy or with onion, or like in Thailand they eat it with condensed milk. So that is roti canai or prata. And inside just now the other girl was preparing what we call teh tarik. That is tea. And in Malaysia, we always tell our tourists, we sell tea by the meter. So they pull the tea, they mix the tea with the condensed milk, but in that pulling process, they cool the tea at the same time, mix the tea thoroughly. That is teh tarik. Teh is Malay for tea. Thank you. And some other ingredients.
I'm sitting here next to a man who's out in front of his shop typing this morning. Tell me about what you're doing.
I'm doing now is a letter to complain to the public from the government. Is something wrong about all the environment of this area. So when these letters come to the authority people, they must take action on whatever the complaint is. Something like rubbish, all other things we are not very good for us to see. You see, like toilet or something like that.
And you said that your title was you're a pensioner?
I am pensioner from the government office.
And what's your name?
My name is Haji Zakaria.
Great, thank you. Sitting in here in front of the Thai temple located in Penang, Malaysia. This is a very big temple, and it's for the Thai people who have come to live in Malaysia. The difference between the Buddhist temples that belong to the Thai people and the normal Chinese Buddhist temples is that the Thai only have one Buddha. It's the Lord Buddha, whereas the Chinese will have many gods and will worship many different gods. So as you can see from the temple behind me, this is a very unique Thai look that you'll find all over Thailand. The reclining Buddha that we're looking at right now is the third largest reclining Buddha in the Asian world. The first one is located in Bangkok, Thailand. Working today, but what you do is you put 50 cents into this machine and it wheels the number around for you, and then whatever number you get, you come over here to one of these pieces of paper that corresponds with your number, and you read it to see what your fortune from the Thai temple, which is right here, that says the Thai Buddhist temple. When you cross the street, directly across the street is the Burmese. Is the Shima Buddha, which is popular religion in the Buddhist religion, and over to my left is the monk who will give blessings to anyone who asks for them here in the Burmese Buddhist temple. In the area where the Burmese Buddhist temple is, there's quite a few other little temples. What we're about to do is go in and see the Chinese Buddha. It's the Laughing Buddha, and he's the Buddha of prosperity. I'm standing here at the Royal Selangor Pewter Factory, where next to me is the largest pewter tankard in the world. It's actually it's listed in the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, obviously, this tankard is really big, so even if you like to drink, you're probably not going to be able to drink as much beer as this tankard would hold. This tankard was created in 1985 to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of this company, Royal Selangor. This particular piece here at the pewter factory is a special order. People from all over the world order from this particular pewter factory. I'm standing here in front of a typical Malay house in the area called Malacca here in Malaysia. We're going to go inside and see how the Malaysians live in these homes that are very typical to this part of the world. tell us just a little bit about the farm that we're here at and also how long you've been here.
Okay, the farm is actually located in Penang. To be precise, it's on the northwest coast of Penang. It sits on 25 acres of land, and we've got on ground about 200 different species of fruit trees growing. As far as myself is concerned, I've actually been here for almost 5 years now, and my background is in biology, and that's how I came about working in this place.
Where did you study?
I actually studied in the United States, in Missouri to be precise, Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, and do you have a favorite plant here of all?
Actually, the favorite fruit, I would say, amongst the locals and also tourists would be what you see at the back here. These are dragon fruit, or pitayas as they call it in Central America, where they originate from.
Fig tree, native to Southeast Asia.
The fig is actually a very peculiar fruit because the fruit bears the flower on the inside. You see all these tiny little bulbs? These are actually the flowers. The flowers is contained within the fruit itself. And it takes a special insect, a particular type of insect that creeps through this part right here, and it goes into the fruit and fertilize all the flowers. That's how it's done.
Is this edible?
This is edible, yes. What you eat is this fleshy part. The flowers are also edible. You can actually try it. It's very fragrant and sweet.
I'm standing here right now in front of an orange tree, which is local to Asia. These oranges right here will always remain green. They're not going to turn orange.
It's always green. It doesn't turn orange. It's actually a green orange. But it's very sweet. It's actually quite unfortunate. We grow a lot of different types of exotic fruits. But exotic fruits, they are nice to see, but they're not too good to eat. And most of the fruits that we have here, they're not very palatable. Most people don't like them. That's why they don't have the commercial value. But it's actually very nice to go around and experience so many different types of fruits. Jasmine is the name. Yeah, when it flowers, the surrounding area, you can actually smell very nice, fragrant jasmine fragrance.
Can you eat these?
You can, but it's not very pleasant if you care to try.
Okay, tell us about this amazing plant that we're standing here in front of right now.
Ironically, this is apple. This particular apple tree has already been crossed so that it can withstand the local weather, the local hot weather. And to answer your question, how do we grow this thing with the plastic wrapped around it? What's on the inside is actually soil, and this is a way of propagating the apple tree. What we do is we slice off the topmost layer of the skin, the bark, and then we wrap this bulb of soil around it, and the plastic wraps around it to contain the soil so that it doesn't fall off. And after a month or so, then the scraped off bark will start to root. That red is actually an indication of the fruit is immature, and when it's red, you have white sap. When it's completely ripe, it turns black in color, and when you press it, all the red juices will just start running down your hand. This is the leaves and the flowers are mostly used to bathe the dead. It's a ritual that the local Malays do before they bury the person.
On this is a rose apple. If the plastic wasn't covering up the rose apple, it would be infested with bugs, probably fruit flies and all sorts of nasty creatures, so that they wouldn't be able to grow this tree. We're standing here on a narrow little street in the middle of the city of Malacca in Malaysia, and we're about to go into a restaurant. It's a Chinese restaurant. Inside is an amazing display of some Chinese culture. As you can see, it's huge, huge hallways. And over here to my right is something that we've been seeing throughout Asia and throughout Malaysia as we've been here, and it's called the opium beds. And if you know anything about Asia and back in the earlier century, you'll know that opium was very popular here and legalized. So this bed right here, which is called an opium bed, is basically where people would smoke their opium out of the pipes because you would get very tired and you would just kind of relax in it. And then on the wall here are the two founders of this wonderful restaurant, which is just an amazing, amazing display of Chinese architecture and furniture. So when you're in Malacca, please be sure and come by and have lunch here or dinner. There are quite a few Westerners here, so it's a very familiar place. This morning we're in an island off the coast of Borneo. The island is called Manakan, and there's a lot of things that you can do on the island, all kinds of water sports. One of the things they recommend is snorkeling. Now there's a couple of other islands around here, and several of them are very good for scuba diving. There are people out there snorkeling, and there's nice sandy beaches, a lifeguard on duty, and it takes about 15 minutes to get to this island by boat if you're staying in Sabah in Borneo. Right now we're at the Monsopoloid village where we're going to see the home of the headhunter and skulls from his headhunting days 300 years ago. This is called the House of Skulls. Before we go inside, we're asked to take off our shoes and say politely, "Soy do Mahuang," which means sorry.
Now you are basically in Mon Sopiat Culture Village, okay? And Mon Sopiat here means a name of a warrior, a legacy warrior of the Kadazan Dusun people back 300 years old, okay? And Mon Sopiat is the man who actually hunted all these skulls down. And the total amount of skulls that hunted down by him is 42 skulls. 42, okay? And he is the only man that hunted the most skulls at that time, okay? So everybody knows him and he's very famous of that. All these skulls are all the enemies and also the warriors that have been fighting with him before.
And he had 42 skulls, but above me hanging is only 38 skulls. The other 4 were too old to be hanging, so they're in jars right now with the skull keepers. The one thing about Manso Pliat is that he was a very gentle man until he was approached by the women of the village to please help them defend their village by people that came in to kill them. And so that's when he began headhunting about 300 years ago. Manso Pliat basically just killed either enemies or warriors that he had fought with in the past, and he used a knife the size of a banana leaf. One thing you'll notice here above where the skulls are is the leaves that are hanging with them. They're dried pine leaves, and they're actually used to protect these spirits inside of the skulls. There are 3 spirits that are currently living in this hut. There's the spirit of the skulls, the spirit of peace and harmony, and also the spirit of good fortune. One thing about this village is that there are still priestesses that practice the rituals. However, our tour guide said that the priestesses are very old right now, and that when they die, there won't be anyone to take over this job, because now the more modern people from this village believe in Christianity, and they no longer believe in the spirits living in the earth or in the skulls or even in these various things hanging in the huts as they did not too long ago. Here in Manso Pliat's hut, also in the corner, you'll see that behind me there's jars. And the tour guide was telling us that in these jars, they used to use them as coffins for people that died. They would put their bodies in the coffins. That was a part of the tradition of the village here.